Welcome back to another episode of OATS Uncut, Orator Academy Talks Uncut. We are unscripted, unfiltered, uncut, raw, organic conversations. Why? Because life is easier and simpler that way. Today I have the pleasure of the company of a young man, Arihaan. Arihaan, welcome.
Hello. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. So you remember the deal. You gotta enjoy this conversation, even if you are not. For the camera, you must look like you're having fun.
Okay.
All right. So Arihaan, in the last class that we were together, we were discussing artificial intelligence, AI. That seems to be the buzzword in your generation. And I, being so much older than you, I'm trying to grapple to understand what is this tool and what is it and what do I need to do with it. So what is your understanding of AI, and can you educate the people who might be watching this video?
So AI, if you don't know, it's actually been researched since all the way back in the 1950s, but only recently has it started being used by more people.
1950s?
Yeah.
Wait, much before I was born.
Yeah.
I feel suddenly very young. Go on.
So now with generative AI like ChatGPT, more people are starting to use AI, and that's why it's being seen by everyone.
Is it? Okay. So if it was being looked at since 1950s, what was happening then?
So 1950s, there was a Turing tester, so that was the original computer.
Okay.
That was where AI started being used. I'm not exactly sure how, but then in 1980s it started being researched a lot more, and there was a lot more effort. But AI only very recently, like maybe 2000s, has it become more popular.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it was almost like the email and the internet, where it was being used. Email was being used for internal business communication. And then suddenly it became the email form of communication for all of us externally also.
Yeah.
Even if we were not part of a company. So I guess technology has been evolving, and now it is what it is. So there's a lot of hullabaloo and noise about, is AI good for us? Is it going to take over our lives? What do you think?
I think AI, some people say that you're going to lose your job in AI, and that might happen, but you have a lot of time. You have 5-10 years, and if you know your job is at risk, then you can try and adapt it to it. Because I don't think AI is going to take away jobs. Mostly it's going to help improve jobs, help improve that whole sector.
The experience, probably?
The experience, yeah.
I think that was the fear when computers came out, when internet came out, when Google came out. We thought everything else would be redundant, our brains would be redundant, and libraries would be redundant, because when I was growing up, if you needed a piece of information, we went to the library and looked through books and books. And then we had that big fat yellow book that we used to go through for phone numbers. And now everything is online and so easily accessible. But that hasn't made us redundant yet.
Yeah.
Right? But I do worry about AI taking over some jobs because of these robots, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's a problem. Like, some simple jobs, like how people earn money when they're starting out, those jobs might be taken away, and that's not very good. So people are already looking into some ways to try and fix this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess more people will start going to college trying to get better jobs. That might be one thing. But besides that, we don't really know what's going to happen. Like when computers came out, like you were saying, we didn't know what was going to happen. We're just going to have to wait and see.
So that's interesting. So if it's been actually being looked at since the 1950s, and now 2025, how is it being used currently? I mean, I think I may know less, and there may be many more users that it's actually feeding in our day-to-day lives. I know ChatGPT has suddenly taken over a lot, but I feel you can tell what is written by ChatGPT and what somebody wrote themselves.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
I feel like ChatGPT, there are some ways to use it correctly. Like you can use it I can give it my notes and I can study for a test with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can ask it to grade me on my assignment.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just tell it to write everything, it's not as good. That's why AI is not going to be redundant to us, because we are still more creative than AI can be.
And we created.
Yeah, we created AI.
Human intelligence created the artificial intelligence. So, very interesting phenomenon. What role does technology play in your day-to-day life?
In my day-to-day life, all technology, I mean, you wake up, maybe you might set an alarm, so that alarm is technology if you put it on your phone. Then you go to school or your work, you're using your computer. Those are just a few things, but then also there's a lot more technology that you don't see, such as a car's technology, house building is technology.
Yeah. Another thing that bothers me is that now with technology, people don't pick up the phone and call each other so much. Most communication is done via text messages, right?
Yeah.
So is it weakening the human element to a certain extent that, we don't have time to talk? It's like, okay, what's up? What's up? And sometimes even that is just written as sup, S-U-P. Some friends of mine will not even write full what's up with you. But so it's just, I feel communication is becoming abbreviated literally. We don't say full words. We don't speak words either. It's all through type.
But is that really such a bad thing? Like a lot of words, such as, for example, selfie. Selfie is a slang word. There are all sorts of slang words that in the past generations, but now that those generations have grown older, they're looking at the slang words of the new generation. And
right.
So I think over time, some of these words will become more common. Like lol might become common.
But you know how many people from my generation mistook lol for lots of love? Do you know that? Did you hear of that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, so it was a joke that somebody sent an email saying, "Oh, did you know your friend's mother who lives in my neighborhood recently passed away? I've reached out to their daughter, and but you don't worry, take care, LOL." But it was not meant to be laugh out loud. That person who was writing the email was trying to say, "You don't worry about it, lots of love." But so my generation has had a bit of a struggle trying to understand the abbreviations. And yeah, like IKR, I would have never guessed IKR is, I know, right? BRB, okay, I got used to it. GTG, and one of my favorites is MYOB. Do you know what that is?
No.
I know something that you don't. MYOB. Mind your
Own business.
own business. I feel so tickled and so proud that I know an abbreviation that you don't. Arihaan, who's cooler? All right. Okay. But I think while we say that technology has taken over human communication, I also feel it has enhanced it. With apps like WhatsApp and all, calling internationally has become so much easier. So much easier. You don't think twice because you don't have to either pay too much. You're not paying anything for WhatsApp. You don't have to go buy a card like we used to. I've been through that time when we used to buy a calling card from a Delhi and then call that number and then call your number. So now you just pick up the phone and call. So it has also connected people and brought people together. So my belief is that technology is great. We need to know how to use it.
Yeah.
We need to be smart in using it.
Yeah. Technology can be good or bad. All technology is neutral, but then people can use it for good or bad. Like phones, you can use them to communicate, to call, but you can also use them to just watch videos the whole day. So
Absolutely.
you have to manage that.
Absolutely. Social media is great if you use it for a purpose. Like you said, if you spend the entire day watching reels on social media, you've had an unproductive day. You can't blame social media. You need to blame yourself that you didn't know how to navigate around it. It's interesting. But are you into social media much?
I mean, a bit. I watch videos sometimes. But yeah.
Which app?
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Not TikTok?
Not TikTok.
Not TikTok, okay. Why not TikTok? I'm just curious.
I mean, back when most people started using it, I had already started using YouTube because most people were using YouTube at that time. And then I heard about TikTok. I think back then it was when all those challenges were happening. I never really bothered switching over to TikTok because I also watch long form videos sometimes on YouTube. So then you can also watch short form videos. So.
Okay, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, I don't have a TikTok account. I guess I also wanted the word to be out as to what should we do, yes or no, what is happening, are we going to get to use TikTok in this country or not? And that's why I didn't want to venture that way. But yeah, YouTube and Instagram, like Orator Academy posts are also on Instagram and Facebook, because I feel it helps to get the word out, right?
Yeah.
So what are other aspects of artificial intelligence that, since we started to talk about that, are there any other things of artificial intelligence related that we are using but don't identify them as artificial intelligence?
I mean, for example, Siri, Alexa.
Oh, that's right.
Google
Home.
Yeah, Google uses AI. Your Tesla uses AI.
That's right. That's right. Tesla uses AI. I think most cars actually, because even the non-Teslas, they have a feature that
parking.
They keep you in lane.
In lane.
The moment you're going a little off, you actually feel as if the steering is tightening towards the other side, trying to bring you back into the lane as you're slightly drifting outside. So that all is AI?
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part? Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. Anything else you'd like to mention about AI?
I mean, while we're on the topic of AI, what do you think is the most important skill that you should have in a world that's driven by AI?
That's driven by AI?
Yeah, not driven by AI, but has AI as a major aspect of it.
I think it's very hard for me to say. I've never really thought about it. But my thing is that not to shy away from using AI. Get to understand and also understand how to use it and how it can help enhance ourselves. For example, honestly telling you, sometimes when I write the post for Instagram or Facebook or whatever for Orator Academy, I will take my snippet and I'll put it on AI and say, okay, fix and enhance. And then it'll come back with something highlighted, some icon here and there, some emoji here and there, and sometimes it'll pick up on errors, or sometimes it'll come up with a better expression to what I was trying to say. So in that capacity, yes, why not? But not to stop using my own brain. I feel that I am pretty clear about that. I don't think I want to give that up. I don't want to give up my ability to think. I will, you know how calculators, right? When calculators first came out, oh, your human brain is going to become redundant. You need to apply your brain to multiply, add, subtract so that your brain stays sharp and all of that. Okay, calculators have stayed. We use them a lot, but we still work with numbers a lot. It's not that we've given up on that side of our brain completely. We still apply that, right? That's why humankind is able to make further enhancements in science.
Yeah.
Because all this is contributing.
Yeah, it's important to learn skills before you let AI take them over. Like, you should learn how to properly write before you give all your essays into ChatGPT and let it write your essays for you. You have to learn some skills, because I feel like that's going to be a problem unless we address it. Some skills, you have to teach students how to use them. You shouldn't let them use AI to do those skills.
Absolutely. And AI is like another thing that you get. AI could also be like fashion. One size does not fit all. And you have to decide. You go and watch a famous designer's fashion show. You see a gazillion outfits. Some make sense and some don't even make sense. You have to figure out what works for you. You can't just say, oh, I only wear that label, so I will wear anything that label comes out. And you're not applying your own brain. You're just following what the designer is giving you. You got to use your own brain. You got to see what makes sense on you, for you. So I think in life in general, one size does not fit all. Whether it's technology, whether it's fashion, whether it's media, whether it's arts, tell me anything in one of your interests or passions. Do you like art? What do you like to do? Or what else? Tell me one thing that you like to do extracurricular after school.
Extracurricular.
Like you play a sport or something?
I do marching band.
You do marching band. So I don't do marching band. If I look at you and I think to myself, oh, I want to do that, and you're very good at it, I am not, then I'm beating myself up saying, oh, I must be really terrible person to not be able to do it as well as he's doing. So that's silly. I got to figure out what is out there, what works for me, and how can I use it also, right?
Yeah.
So I have quoted this, I think, in class sometimes also, that there's a quote from Einstein which says, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its entire life feeling stupid.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Right? So, I don't know how I'm bringing it up, but how does it apply to our ability to navigate around AI? Is AI of all sorts does not work for all. We've got to figure out what works for us and in what capacity.
Yeah.
Is it taking over from me? If I completely start relying on ChatGPT to write every single post, it's going to show. And if I start using it for my any letter or any email that I'm writing, it's not going to sound like me. My own personal expression needs to come out in the words that I'm putting out. So we have to understand and not just follow the herd blindly, right?
Yeah.
I feel I kind of got into a coaching mode. Did I?
Maybe.
A little bit. I can't help it. What else, Arihaan? How's life treating you?
It's going pretty well.
You are in 8th grade.
9.
Sorry. Don't shoot me for that. Sorry. You're in 9th grade. First year of high school. So how's that going?
It's going pretty well.
Okay, I caught a number right there. Be careful.
It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. I enjoy high school so far. I'm taking some classes that are hard, and
so again, see, we are talking about AI. In high school, you get options to, access to different courses, right? All those courses enhance you, but what works for you? You have to figure it out.
Yeah, that's relating back to AI.
Yeah.
So, if you like English and you take an English course, but you don't like art, you don't have to take an art course. So in AI, you can use AI for some things. Like if you don't know how to do something and you don't need to do it. Like you don't need to be good at art if you want to be a doctor. So you could ask AI to generate you an image or something. But if you want to be a doctor, you shouldn't ask AI to do all your surgeries for you.
Yeah, I think my understanding of AI is very limited. It's very obvious too that I don't know much about it. I just know very few basic things that we are all using and knowingly or unknowingly. But talking about art, I remember about many years ago, decades ago, when Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop came out. Now, I am not an artist. I can't draw to save my life. I'm really bad. Painting is not me. I admire beautiful works of art, but I can't make one. But then I have different other skill sets. So I remember that when I first drew something on Illustrator, the ability that software gave me to create shades and to create artwork, made me feel like an artist for a little bit. So again, am I going to become delusional and say, oh, I know art? No, I don't. I was just able to copy something that I saw. I was actually tried making a face of a tiger and different shades and lines, stripes and all that, and it worked out beautifully. But again, that is not me. But it's great to have a tool, so you can. But I think that's what AI is. It is an enhancement, another utility, a tool that helps us navigate life even better if you know how to use it. Any closing thoughts, my friend?
I just want to say that if you think that AI is going to affect you in some way, you shouldn't be scared of AI. You should try and learn from AI and try to use it in ways that can help you, not hurt you.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Arihaan, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I know you were very apprehensive of coming and doing this with me, but I am so happy to talk to your generation, to talk to you and and to hear your point of view and your understanding of the concepts that are so relevant and current to your times. Thank you. Thank you to all of you for watching this episode of OATS Uncut. Take care of yourself. Stay well. Bye-bye.